so today we're going to be looking at the MIDI effect chord trigger. Now this is a really useful MIDI effect, so that's only available on your software tracks, not your audio tracks. But it's a really useful effect, particularly if you're really unsure about, how to make chords, or probably more often, what kind of chords work well together. Okay, so normally how would we make a chord? We'd probably go into the piano roll, click on this one, and then you can hold down Command, make sure you've selected pencil, and you might come in and click and create a chord like this, for example. There we go. We've got a G chord, G major, and it tells you just here on the left. So that's how you might do it normally, right? Now it becomes a chord. This will become a chord the moment you have more than one note. Okay, so that's the definition of a chord. All right. It doesn't matter which notes they are. It could be something like this, which is much less nice sounding. So pretty horrible, right? But it could be something more like that G major chord we had before, or G minor now. Something a bit more, conventional, something you might hear more often. So that's how you would normally create a chord, right? If you were gonna want to create some chords in your project, and you should definitely still play around with that. But sometimes maybe you want to, you're not so sure, you want a bit of inspiration, and then we can go to the chord trigger MIDI effects. So let's do that now. Okay, so to get chord trigger up, all you need to do is come over to MIDI effects in the inspector window on the left, click on where it says MIDI effects, and then of course come down to chord trigger. Go ahead and click that one, and then you get this window appear. Okay, so what have we actually got going on here? So what we can see is we've got an input and an output, and we've got two of these piano style keyboard layouts. But crucially, the top one has got these little nodes in, right? And what those little nodes say is if you click on this, you'll get an output underneath, which will trigger a chord, okay? And you can see here it says trigger keys, and you can actually move this. So if we move this over here, we get this orange keyboard below, right? Now, if I click on this note here, C1, we get a C at the C1 position on the keyboard, but that's it, right? Now, if I click C2, we get a C minor 7 chord, right? So this is what these trigger keys do. This says trigger a chord, and you can actually set these, but that's probably another video. But so you can set in specific chords, right, and put in the chords as you want. So basically what this does is trigger a chord, right? So this can be really helpful. Now I'm actually gonna advise you to kind of go ahead, and if this is like the first time you're kind of using this, come to the top menu here, click on factory default. If this doesn't appear for you and you've got something like this, click on this top right corner here, and this menu drops down. Okay, so go ahead and click on this menu, come down to multi, keyboard voicings, and then across to pop left hand. Okay, so we get the same sort of trigger keys here. So this means if we click on one of these, we're gonna get a chord come out. Now you can actually move this to wherever you want. So if you're in a different key to, in this case, this is chromatic, so we've got all of the notes available. But if you wanted to start this on C sharp and change the key, maybe you want it to start on a G, whatever you want to do, you can actually move these trigger keys. So let's see what that sounds like when we do that. So we'll go ahead and click this one. There we go, lovely C major. And if we move this up one, there we go, C sharp major. Okay, so you can see the point here. Now you can actually get musical typing up, which probably makes this a little bit more intuitive to use. So let's do that. That's Command K. And let's just make this a bit smaller up here. Okay, so now we can do what we can do is we can trigger this area, this trigger key section, using the musical typing. If you've got a keyboard, use that. It'd be just as probably easier actually. So let's go ahead and do that. So you can see how quickly you can create some chords, right? So let's actually exit this and we can really quickly record something. So let's just get rid of this. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do that. There we go, and really quickly we've got a little chord progression, okay? If we click on this, just quickly quantize. So really quick, right? Now if we turn off the chord trigger, which we can do here on the top left, then we don't get those chords anymore, but we get the root note, so the note we actually played in, or the note that we can see here will play, but not the chord. Right, and if we re-enable that, and there you go. And there's a whole bunch more that you can do in this, but just as a sort of intro to what it does, that hopefully gives you a good idea. So yeah, hopefully this is helpful. I'll probably do another video just to go into a little bit more depth about this, but this is honestly such a really quick and easy way of, you know, getting to play some chords, maybe when you don't know how to construct chords too well. So cool, thanks for watching, guys.